We are now just 178 days away from the release of The Rise of Skywalker that's set to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So the great thing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie is going to have a lot of prequel trilogy continuity as well as original trilogy continuity that's going to be used as a way of telling the storyline in the background that's going to benefit many of the main characters such as Kylo Ren and Rey, as well as others from start to finish of the plot of this film. Now these past couple of weeks or so we've been learning a whole lot more about this movie, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now specifically, what's really intriguing is that a description of Kylo and his Knights of Ren entering of what's described to be the Dark Spire, where they are searching for a location called the Shrines of the Sith, that is located in the basement of the Dark Spire, which is full of ancient Sith relics and statues. It said that they eventually reach Vader's statue, which stands around 50 feet high, where a part of the structure is able to open just like all the others containing relics and artifacts of Vader. Kylo is said to open the statue and discovers a device that is described to have been handed down from Snoke to Darth Vader, and is said to be a device that reveals hyperspace routes to all the dark temples hidden throughout the galaxy that Vader explored that were given from Snoke. This was for Vader to discover the secrets of the dark side and the path to immortality in order to rescue Padme from death, that Snoke was assisting Vader with. The device is said to be the size of a small generator that would fit into both hands and glows in a yellow hue that projects the routes. So let's go over a couple of parts about this and this connection between both Vader and Supreme Leader Snoke. Now we do know that this movie is going to be a film that's really going to take advantage of Jedi and Sith lore, as well as taking advantage of some of the legacy characters like Darth Vader, for example, and mixing that character with one of the sequel trilogy based characters such as Snoke. Now a lot of people are starting to wonder, what's really going on between both Snoke and Vader. There's definitely more to this story of what's going on here for sure. Now we do know that in the novelization of both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, we do know that Snoke saw the rise and fall of the Galactic Empire. After all, from what we have been going over these past couple of days or so, we do in fact know that Snoke is around the age of 800 years old, give or take. That is what the Forger tells Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren during their travels to the Dark Spire. So this device that is said to be the size of a small generator that glows in a yellow hue and projects the hyperspace routes to all the dark temples that are located from all corners of the galaxy. This is exactly where Darth Vader was going from point A to point B throughout the years, in between the events of Order 66 and Star Wars A New Hope. Now, what I like about this is that this is really setting up a lot of lore that can really be expanded off of Episode 9 in the forms of books, novels, comics, you name it, maybe even a live-action TV series, for all we know in the distant future. And that's the thing here. We do know that Disney and Lucasfilm, with the sequel trilogy, especially with Episode 9, they're trying to set up more stories that can be told in between all of these different movies that we have seen ever since 1977. All the way up until now in 2019. Now, with that being said, the whole entire connection between both Snoke and Vader is very intriguing and very interesting, is that we do know that Vader and Snoke, they were doing these things behind Darth Sidious and his back, and that Sidious had no idea of what was really going on. Now, these dark temples are said to actually offer the hints to immortality, and that Darth Vader was searching for these in an attempt to bring Padme Amidala back from dead. Now, what I like about that is that this also falls directly into the last issue of the Darth Vader comic that we got back, I believe it was in November, maybe October of 2018 if I'm not mistaken. It was a very good issue. I do suggest that you guys go ahead and read it. Taps into the Sith cave and everything around those lines that resides under Darth Vader's fortress. So this whole entire location, the Shrines of the Sith, Darth Vader's statue holds a lot of secrets and his connections to Supreme Leader Snoke. This device is actually said to be taken from Kylo Ren, where he keeps it for himself. Now, does this necessarily mean that Kylo is searching for immortality? That's a big question open on the table for discussion right now. And the one thing I will also say is that we do know that parts of this movie are planned by JJ and Chris Terrio to have darker elements than that of Revenge of the Sith itself. So that to me speaks volumes, right? It really tells us that they're really trying to make this movie very dark of a film in certain pieces of the story of Episode 9 in the second and third acts of the movie, which could either be a good or a bad thing. We'll have to wait and see. Honestly, I'm not quite sure if you can really make anything darker than Revenge of the Sith if it's a Disney Star Wars film, but we'll have to wait and see exactly how that all turns out to be on the big screen. So yeah, guys, I'm loving Jedi and Sith lore and where this is all going and the connection between both Snoke and Vader. I'm sure that we're going to be learning more about this in the upcoming comic of Snoke come this September of 2019. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.